Hey guys, Nate here. Quick little video. I wanted to do a little small stack showing part one of my CGC submission. So nothing super special with these cards, guys. Just your basic 2020 and 2021 submissions. So I am going to try CGC for some modern product. I know it's been quite the talk of the town here lately, or the interwebs. But we're just going to take a close look at a couple cards here and try to guess the grades. Now this one, I really rarely say like something is a 10. I don't quite know how well these 25th anniversary Pikachus grade right now. But this one is actually looking very nice, very well centered, and the back doesn't really have any marks. So these first four cards, you'll see why I put them together, because they are actually all the starters, the four starters. So we're looking closely at this Bulbasaur. Now this Bulbasaur is very slightly shifted to the right, but my other Bulbasaur that you will see in here in just a minute has a little nick at the top. So with these cards, what I'm looking at the edges, making sure there's no nicks or anything. That one looks pretty clean. Now you can see on the corner here, trying to focus in, give you guys such a close look where you can take some information from this. That little corner right there, it might be a little perforated or sticking out a little bit. I don't really know the words to describe it. Sometimes you see that just with the blades, how they're cut. You can kind of see it on this top one right here as well. And we're getting in there close. You can see all those little pieces of dirt and everything, but no worries. Hopefully the card will be clean whenever they slab it. So yeah, that is the only thing, is maybe that centering on the back. You can see corners are sharp. You can see that little marking where it's almost sticking out a little more on the corners. That's pretty normal for the sheets. We do, however, have like a little white dot there. Let me see if I can focus in more. So might have to take a closer look at that, but that might give us a downgrade. So I would say this one's probably a 9. The Pikachu might have a chance at a 10, but like I said, I don't really know how well these cards are grading. Next up, we have a Charmander. This is one of my favorite artworks. I just love the Charmander and the Squirtle especially. This one's really well centered. It's kind of hard to see any hollow scratching or anything. I got my big light out. You can see the glare over there. So I like to run the light across the card just to see anything. Now there are like drops of rain in the artwork. You can see them really well there. So don't mistake those for hollow scratches. However, in the future, that might be like a problem with this card. People might think either that's hollow scratching or might mistake that if they don't know the history of the card. Now you can see the bottom edge here. It has a little more wear than the other edges. The top edge looks pretty good, pretty solid. But yeah, we're looking at that bottom edge. It might have some markings along it. You can maybe kind of see it on the front. However, this is a very good looking card. Otherwise, just looking at it, there's no like white chips or anything. This is just dust on the case and stuff. But yeah, no chips or anything. Maybe this corner down here might be a little more obvious. You can see a little whitening there, but overall, not too bad. Not really seeing much consistency across these cards to be worried about as far as certain grades. I know some of them are off-centered, so maybe that's something to look at. This is probably one of my favorites, though. Squirtle, the 25th anniversary, McDonald's. I just love this card. It's such a cool card. I hope this really grades well. Might be slightly off-center, pushing to the left. But yeah, let's take a look at these corners and everything. Corners look good there. This card is pretty nice condition. Maybe the top edge has a little more wear than the others, but I don't really see anything being marked off for that. So yeah, why not? Let's hope for a 10 on this one. Nice, perfect like illustration of Squirtle there. I just love that card. Now moving on, we have 4 more of the same cards. The reason why I have these ordered like that is so like the number will be in order. So sequential numbers. for the grading slab. This Pikachu is off center a little to the left, so those 4 are like my best 4. I'm only sending in 2 of each, so you can see that Pikachu is kind of shifted, and we'll kind of speed up through these a little more, but maybe has a little nick down there. But I think I moved this one to the second batch because it was off-centered a lot more than my first one. Bulbasaur here, now I already mentioned there is a nick up here at the top left. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we do have a little nick there, so this is probably a slight chance out of 10, probably a 9 though, unless there's something else. You can kind of see that there on the back, maybe some whitening, so maybe something in the corner here. So that's why this got demoted to the second batch. Charmander, now I can't really remember what was wrong with this one, maybe slightly off center a little more. I think both of my Charmander were pretty decent. Oh, it's probably that white mark there, and maybe one up here on this corner. So yeah, maybe just those little marks. Those were a little less conditioned than the first batch Charmander. Here we have the second Squirtle. This one looks pretty well centered. It might be off slightly. Let's see if there's something on the back that got it demoted. Yeah, probably the corners there. Got a white nick there in that corner. Maybe a white nick in that corner and that corner. My other Squirtle is just a little better condition. So yeah, those are the McDonald's starters I'm going to be sending in. I love the holo on these, how it kind of bleeds through. I think these will really look good. And I do want to do a video on CGC now because of PSA's recent price changes. So if you'd like to know my thoughts on that, I probably will upload a video on that relatively soon. We do have a couple more cards though I'm going to be sending off. We have General Mills Pikachu times 3. So I'm going to be sending these off to CGC. With modern cards now, I'm really thinking that just CGC is kind of the way to go. I've always been kind of pro CGC. I do love that there's competition in the market. However, let's see, this middle card might be the best one, but these are a little off center maybe. Yeah, so I was always kind of for CGC. I was just never really on board myself personally because I do like PSA's cases way more. And the biggest factor for me was that I did not know if CGC would be well accepted in the future. Maybe for modern, I was kind of thinking like modern cards like pre 2020 might not be CGC candidates or well accepted, but now I'm seeing this total shift. I don't know if it's because of PSA pricing or just, you know, seeing CGC cases more, a lot more people jumping on board. Gary King Pokemon himself even talking down PSA. We're seeing a shift, and CGC is pretty much on the uptick now. I really think CGC cases will be very strong for modern product, especially post 2020. So that's kind of where I'm sending in most of my stuff. If it's like super modern, I really think in the long term, you know, CGC might be the way to go for super modern cards. Here we have 2 Charizard illustrators. These were a Japanese promo, really cool card. I just love the artwork. I am not going to talk these cards up because I do not have a big position in them. These 2 cards are actually the only ones I have. This is pretty much a good card to invest in to a lot of people. And to be honest, I kind of agree, but I think there's more money to be made elsewhere. The profit margins on these will be decent in the future, but I'm in it just for the artwork. I love this artwork. I love the unique feel, how he's like in the battle, kind of looking behind him. Just such a unique artwork, and I love this card, so that's why. And I always buy 2 of everything. So if you hadn't noticed, I got multiples. So yeah, that's just going to be part 1 of my CGC submission this time around. I am going to have part 2. Which is a lot of my friends' selection that he's going to be sending in with me. So if you guys are interested in that, be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment below. What are your thoughts about CGC here nowadays and PSA's price increases? I'd love to know. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.